at home to start working. So he had a couple jobs during high school, and he did well. He was able to graduate from Kleinman's, go in service, work for the phone company for almost 40 years, because those kind of jobs were available then, right? But my view is that if he had a Paul Flores or a Freddie Gutierrez or one of our mentors that are working, I think there's a very good chance that he would have went to college. So the stories that I see now with these young men and boys are very similar to my father's, right?
Yeah.
They recently immigrated here, a lot of the same pressures at home, but now we're kind of building a support net around them, where they know that college can be an option for them, and that why it is important for them to stay in school, why it's important to improve their grades, to graduate from high school, and just the whole economic and career pathways that are going to be open to them if they do that, as opposed if they drop out, because it's still a fight to keep many of these folks, young men, in school for a variety of reasons.
So what's the dropout rate in Oakland, the Oakland area right now?
Oh, it's incredibly high.
Ballpark figure.
It's above 50%. Yeah, 40–50%.
Is this for just Latino men?
No,
or
primarily African American
and minorities in general.
Right, minorities in general, yeah. And I want to go back to something you were saying. It's great that this, you had a lot of women who were involved in the startup of this. Is the one thing that I will say, and a lot of women may not agree with me, but one of the things I think is vitally important, it is something about having that male that is a mentor that they look up to. I know that as having been a single parent for a period of time, and I just recognize what a man can give a child, and especially a male child. It is so important that they have that male figure in their lives, no matter what they say, because a woman can't teach a boy how to be a man. She can teach them a lot of things, but it's just something about that male influence that takes them to the next level. And to hear that, and to know that what you guys are doing, I'm looking at some statistics that in 2012-2013 school year, among the boys that were in the program, and this was at 3 Oakland middle schools and high school, there was a 97% school attendance rate. There was a 30% reduction in disciplinary action over 1 year. So you only had 4 suspensions out of 60. There was a 19% increase in the grade point average. 75% of the qualified youth placed in meaningful internships in 2013 summer jobs. And 78% of the Latino male youth exercise at least 20 minutes a day for 4 days or more. And though people may say that's not big, but it is big.
It's huge.
In the grand scheme of things.
What it is that we're looking at an organization, as you say, you're establishing a net around young men right now, minority men. And that's inclusive of saying that, we're actually protecting these guys. And then at the same time, it's building a foundation for later on in life, and I think that's the critical thing about all this. I like that.
Yeah,
I think that's cool.
So the program may not be where you want it to be, but it's trending in the positive direction. And what we need, and which is why we talk about why people need to donate and to support the Unity Council, is because of these programs, because the effect and how it affects these youth is so important to our society. I mean, it's the fabric of what we're talking about. And without that, and without programs like what you're doing, look at where we're going to be at.
Yeah. Future aspirations.
For the Unity Council.
For the Unity Council.
For the Unity Council, I think one of the things that has become pretty apparent since I've been over here is the even though we've been around for 51 years.
Wow, how long?
51 years. Yeah, last year was our 50th anniversary.
Wow.
We've been very externally focused, right? So, and it's basically if there's a need in the community, how can we position ourselves to address that need, and whether it's Latino men or boys or seniors or youth, which is great. But I think it's come at a cost without not really taking a look at the Unity Council and can we handle this work. So I think
you guys are growing. You guys are growing, ever evolving every year. Then, aren't you?
Well, no, we've kind of stayed at this level for a while. But I think right now it's, my main focus is really provide, to be able to look at the way we do business and make sure that it's sustainable.
Right.
Are there sustainable revenue sources? How can we create more of our own revenue so we're less reliant on the city or the state or public resources? And so that's, ultimately the goal is to put ourselves in a position where we know we can be sustainable and not kind of ride the wave of these fluctuations of public support. So that's where I think we're vulnerable, and so that's where we're putting.
You're looking to be consistent.
Yeah, and I think I really want to give a shout out to folks that have really helped me this past year, specifically James Head at the East Bay Community Foundation.
Okay.
He's really stepped up to help us. Fred Blackwell.
James Head.
Yeah. Fred Blackwell at the San Francisco Foundation. Sandra Hernandez. And some of these other foundations, they've really.
Some more names in there.
Yeah, well, Sandra Hernandez at the Y&H Soda, Haas Jr., a variety of banks. So I think they've really kind of circled the wagons around us because they know how important our work is, and I think that's a really telling story that these folks have really stepped. Kaiser, Yvette Radford over at Kaiser has really stepped up. So there's a lot of folks that I think have really kind of circled the wagons around this Beneficial State Bank, Beneficial State Foundation, to make sure that we have what we need to continue doing this work.
When you say people out there's no opportunity in the Bay Area, we're talking today about an entity, an organization that is offering you just about anything you need in life itself. Am I right, Gloria?
That's absolutely correct.
Yeah.